Guys, Steven here, aka the Boiler Master. I am here with the CEO and CFO of IQST. First of all, let me say thank you guys for taking a moment to sit down and do an interview with me. I really appreciate that. So, IQST is a rather large business. You guys are extremely busy, especially this week with the International Telecoms Week. And I am an extremely small channel on YouTube. So, I recognize that taking the time to meet with me isn't exactly going to do a lot for the company. However, you guys have seen that I am a shareholder and I'm really involved, and you've seen some of my research. So I see this meeting as more of a favor towards myself and the other long-term shareholders. And I want you guys to know on behalf of shareholders, we really do appreciate that. So since you guys have taken some time out of your day to let me have this small part and be involved in your journey, I wanted to give you guys a token of my appreciation, something a little bit symbolic of my journey. So as you guys have seen, I like to do coffee and DD.
Oh, thank you very much.
So I brought you guys to matching mugs.
Bravo, thank you.
Coffee and DD.
Thank you very much.
Here you go, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Alvaro. So, I've got plenty more for the team. I'll have to leave you guys a couple.
Okay, perfect.
So, all right. So let's get on with the interview. So usually start off with introductions, but by this point, I think that most shareholders know who you guys are. So instead of a standard introduction and what your roles are with the company, I know you've been with the company for a long time. Would you guys take a moment with your introduction and start off with your initial involvement? Where did you start out with IQST, even prior to? And how did that transition into your roles today? If you would introduce yourselves in that way, I'd really appreciate it.
Of course. Steve, first of all, thank you very much for this opportunity. We love the productions that you made for the company, the analysis. So you have done an amazing job, and this is an honor for us having this opportunity to talk face to face. I know that you invest part of your time, traveling 10 hours to being here. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you. Well, this journey started in 2008 when we founded Etelix, and after 10 years working as a private company, we decided that the best way to grow the company was having enough funds for acquisitions and to support organic growth. So in that sense, at that time in 2018, our company has a valuation for around $4 million, and we started a process to reverse merger with a company publicly listed. That name is Pure Snacks in the OTC markets. And after that, with this capital as a starting point, the $4 million for our company, we put it into Pure Snack, and this is the starting point for us. So we started this process in 2018. Of course, in 2018, we report, like Alvaro, I think $13 million revenue, plus almost $14 million revenue. And to be honest with you, everything that we had in mind to become our company after 6 years in a $250 million company was impossible to only in our best dreams ever. So we are more than happy in this process. We can be proud not only for the company. We have 4 important foundations for the company that are the 22,000 shareholders that we try to represent and honor them, doing the best interest for them in the company. We have investors that give enough money to grow the company, to acquire other company. We have an independent board of directors that you already met, all of them with us here in this event. And we have our partners, because we have been acquiring 51% stockholders position in that company, but the founders of those companies are still part of the company. So we are, this is the foundation, and we are more than happy. And I can say we have the honor to having a loyal shareholders supporting us and the ambassadors,
Mhm.
and you and other YouTubers producing excellent material and excellent opportunity to talk about our company. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know, Albert, if you want to add something.
There's not much to add to that. It has been an amazing journey, and as we always say, the best is just to come.
Excellent. Thank you. But Alvaro, you have been with the company since the beginning as well, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
So Jano and I have been working together in this project since 2008. Well, it's been a journey with ups and downs, but we have been doing a
Yes.
great job together. I think.
Yeah, as an investor, that's one of the greatest things I like to see about the company is that the people managing and leading the company were managing and leading before it even went public. So the growth you guys have seen and the progress that we've seen is something that current management created. So it's something we can expect to continue. That long-term leadership team is really valuable to see with a company like IQStel.
Very good. And let me tell you, for us, this is not another project. This is, our full-time job, our project for the whole life. We invest our company as a starting point. We have been working very hard. We work like 50, 60 hours per week, every single week. We have like 15 meetings in a regular basis with different companies, different business. And in this case, for instance, our board of directors is attending to this show in order to have this personal touch with the customers. And we have a regular meetings with the board, like once a month. So the idea is that, even though we are a OTC company, we're in the QX, that is the higher, level of the OTC market. We run the company as a very large company, and all the regulatory things and all the corporate governance requirements that we already met for the Nasdaq uplisting. So,
yeah, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves because I do have some questions about that. But if we can, I want to touch back on the growth a little bit. So you guys did 13 million your first public year, 2018. Last year for 2023, you guys did almost 145 million.
Yes.
So that's over 10x growth in just a 5-year period. Some of that is through acquisitions, but you guys didn't have any acquisitions last year, did you?
yeah. No, we didn't.
Not acquisition.
We didn't do.
So last year alone was 55% year-over-year growth, and that is completely organic. And I know the company's talked a lot about cross-selling. You have so many subsidiaries that work so well together, and they cross-sell to drive this level of growth. And you guys did a good job in a previous interview detailing out exactly what services you provide in telecom. But can you help us understand a little bit about how the cross-selling takes place? When you say you're cross-selling between subsidiaries, what are you actually doing to drive that level of growth of being 55% in a single year?
Well, we have to go back a little bit to previous year, 2022, when we acquired Whistle and SmartBits. And to be honest with you, those acquisitions improve our commercial activity in the company, and we grow a lot, having regular meetings, having detecting opportunities of cross-selling. And this is the reason why the company grows, thanks to all the things that we learned in the process to acquire Whistle and SmartBits. For us, Whistle was strategic because a big part of our gross profit depending of the US termination of the voice side, and Whistle is our main aggregator for our own traffic. And in the case of SmartBit, they're really strong in Latin America. They have a very good presence with large companies as Telefonica. And well, we have been, learning of them the things that we have improved in our organization and improve in one go. But the cross-selling happened very simple. Maybe Alvaro can explain, suppose that we have a customer in Etelix, okay? And Etelix has a traffic that pass through the Etelix platform, technological platform, and we send to Whistle. And in that part of the process is that to have another vendor outside of the company, we have an inside vendor, our own, or we make like a vertical integration of the business, and this is the way that happened in the roles. But at the revenue perspective, Alvaro has to create some things and explain a little bit, Alvaro, how it goes.
But to add something to what Leandro was explaining to you is that every time we do an acquisition, we look for what we are getting new that we can offer to our customers. So it's not acquiring a company that has the same interconnection agreement, that have the same route. So every time we acquire a company, even when we acquired in 2019 Swissstream, and then we sell on SmartBiz, we are adding more routes to our offer, to our portfolio, so we can sell more things to our customers. It happened also in the side of the acquired entity. So SmartBiz, when we acquire SmartBiz, now SmartBiz has available the routes that have Etelix, so they can offer to the customers some routes that they don't have before, but they have it now because Etelix already had that. So that's basically what we are doing. We are increasing our portfolio with each acquisition. That allowed us to do a lot of cross-sell.
But for giving you an example, we have every single Friday at 12 p.m. we have a call for all the partners to explore synergies. Just for this 1 hour, talking about, I have this opportunity of business. Do you have traffic? No, well, I have this customer that is needing this. Just for this, just 1 hour a week. In addition to the individual meetings that we have with each company, just to having the time to cross-connect, to cross-selling, to upselling, that's only once a week. We have a space to talk about this.
Excellent. And I noticed in one of your PRs that immediately after you started the process with qXtel, that you brought them into those meetings before even it had initially closed.
Yeah.
Immediate. So I've got a few things on several of the subsidiaries, and aligning with the growth, we've been talking a little bit about SmartBiz. So SmartBiz is one of my favorite acquisitions. From the outside, I can see the PRs, I can see the filings and the 10Ks. So I've been very avid talking about it online. I would like to get your reaction to it. Is that your press release in May of 2022, when SmartBiz was acquired, it estimated that SmartBiz would be at $6 million a year in annual sales. Your 10K for 2023, the following year, put them almost 17 million in sales. I did the math, I believe it was 176% year-over-year growth the year after they were acquired. So just give me your reaction to that, and is that the kind of things you anticipated when you went into the acquisition?
To be honest, there is not secret sauce. It's the hard work, and the management team for each of the subsidiaries, and the way that we connect each other and explore the business is the things that happen right now in IQSTEL. Because IQSTEL is very synergetic organization. It's 1 + 1 is more than 2. And this is the strategy that we are pursuing. As Alvaro said, we select with very carefully each acquisition to combine with our company. How can this footprint, customers, platform, know-how, even though employees and sales team can add to our company to grow the business? So that's basically, there is no secret sauce in this process. This is just hard work.
So if somebody looks at the filings, which I always do, if you dig through, and especially in the quarterly reports, you'll see some detail in there about the intercompany sales and some eliminations. And we talked a little bit about that earlier today. You guys confirmed some things that I had thought, because when you look at SmartBiz and Whistle both, they were acquired at the same time, and SmartBiz has just shot through the roof, and Whistle not so much. I've seen in the filings, and I had an idea of what was going on, but in your own words, could you explain a little bit of why
Sure.
Whistle's not showing the
It's
same
not that
reporting?
Whistle is not selling more, it is that we are using Whistle to terminate traffic to the US based on the technical capacities that Whistle has. So, and that traffic is coming from the other subsidiaries. So we have to do an elimination in the consolidation process, because if we don't do it, we will double in the revenues. So we have to do an elimination. So, and the company that is getting more business from the other subsidiaries is Whistle.
Okay. So if I'm understanding correctly, Whistle has actually seen an increase in traffic, an increase in volume. However, because it's volume from other subsidiaries
Correct.
helping them, the other subsidiaries are the ones reporting.
Yes.
Yes,
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Thank you. So moving on with some other subsidiaries, we mentioned Swisslink and Netflix. So there was a press release last summer that talked about starting to consolidate your telecom operations. And it said that the first step of that consolidation was going to consolidate the operations of Swisslink and Netflix. That was estimated to improve the bottom line by at least $500,000 a year. So can you tell me, did that consolidation take place? How did it go? And are there any other steps planned? Because it talked about consolidation of the entire telecom operations.
Yes, well, this is the challenge that we have, is trying to improve the productivity and reduce the cost of this process. In this process, for instance, is Ethelix and Swisslink, they work like one single company that internally we name Swisslink 2.0, that basically we have one CEO, one COO, one sales director for both organizations, and both organizations works simply between them and generating traffic. We have seen the combination of those companies are producing very close to $100,000 operating income per quarter. So we are on track. We still have some room to increase that bottom line for those companies, but we are more than happy. Right now, they are sharing our own proprietary technological platform for handling the voice traffic, and we are in the process to move SmartBits into that platform. The idea is to start this process, reduce costs, and this platform has a bunch of features in the state-of-the-art technology to improve the quality of service and the margin and the gross profit that we can generate for the calls. And this is very good for us, trying to move all of our subsidiaries into one platform. Right now, we're working and investing in the hardware and software to move SmartBit into that platform that should be finished for third quarter of the year. So we are on track for this. So very good for us. And this is a process. When we saw the results that we got from this combination and synergies between Ethelix and Swisslink, we are amazing of the future, how bright will be with us, going through this process to.
Yes. We are keeping the entities separate, the legal entities, because of, each one have some licenses. For example, Swisslink has a license to operate in Switzerland, and we have to keep that in that way. So we have a license for Ethelix. But at the operational level, they are acting like just one company.
Excellent. So for investors looking at the filings in the future, we should expect to see individual company reporting, same as we have, but even though they're
Yes.
coordinating at an operational level.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. If we move on a little bit, we have some exciting news about another subsidiary that just came out on Friday. So you guys have announced the acquisition of Link Telecom.
Right.
So if you would, just briefly, could you give us a little bit of information about Link Telecom?
Yes, of course. Let me put an example because it's the easy way to show this is strategic acquisition for us. Without any contribution of qXtel and Link, around 50% of our gross profit comes from US termination and basically is handled by Whistle, this traffic. And Whistle send a third of this traffic to Link. So when we acquire Link, we are like integrate the chain of the process to gain more money, and this is why we are really excited about Link. Link is an amazing company with strong products in the US. It's a full suite of services. They have corporate services in the US. They sell internet connection, fiber connections. They resell mobile phone numbers. They have a wonderful product for retail that is a call forward product. And right now they have like 8,000 users for their retail services. And we are expecting to 10 times increase this process starting in 2025, 25. And that's it. That's the big expectation that we have with Link. So we are getting into the retail business and serving end users in the US. So we are increasing our presence in the US with the Link acquisition. And yes,
Yeah, that is.
good.
That actually answered a couple of my questions about it. So one of my questions, if you look into the details of the purchase, and I've got to hit you with some hard ones. So, Link Telecom will have IQStel as the majority 51% owner.
Right.
Omar Luna, the CEO of Link Holding, will be the minority owner. And we can see that he has recently acquired his minority stake, and IQStel is acquiring the majority stake. So if we look into the details of that, Omar Luna paid a significantly higher valuation for his portion of it, which is great for us. Shareholders got a significantly better deal, but it's such a discount. Having only paid $1.5 million for majority stake, a lot of investors who aren't as familiar with business and negotiations, they have some trouble understanding that. Could you explain a little bit of why IQSL may have gotten such a better, a significantly lower valuation on your buy-in?
Well, yes, of course. We acquired for the 51%, and we are going to pay 1.5 million in monthly installments for 12 months, $125,000 per month. But in addition, is Omar Luna meets all the plans that they show us. We are willing to lend up money for growing the business, like it's a loan that the company has to pay, and we are willing to lend up to $3 million. So it's depending on the evolution of the business plan. We are willing to invest more money in the acquisition, but it's just depending of him. And we want to put this clause in the agreement because we don't want to get the commitment to put some money if they're not getting the result that they offer us.
Mm-hmm.
It's important us for to be sure that our partner commits what they offer in the process. So if he meets, we are willing to lend up that money, but as a loan.
Yes.
As a loan, this is important.
I want to come back to that loan, but with my first question, is it fair to say then that it's primarily because you bring a significant amount to the table with IQStel's cross-selling abilities and IQStel's ability to invest into the growth? Is that fair to say why you guys?
Of course. There is it is a very good business for Link Telecom, be part of IQStel. And Omar Luna is excited about this because, having all the business that we have behind a $250 million company with that revenue and traffic and connection and customer, he is going to take advantage of that to generate more So for him, it's an amazing. And growing a company, you should have cash flow issues that Álvaro can explain a little bit. It's like the big growing pains that you have when you are growing the business. And for them, having the full support of qXtel is good. Álvaro, can you talk a little bit about this?
Every time you are planning a strategic movement to increase the revenues, you need more free cash flow.
Mhm.
So if you don't have the enough cash to grow, you will not grow. But it is like a circle. You need the cash to grow. So we are giving Link Telecom and Omar the opportunity to exceed what he's envisioning and planning for Link Telecom, because we are not only giving him that $1.5 million that he has to put into. He also has the commitment to leave that money into the company. Okay?
I saw that. So,
I have a premiere for you.
okay.
Very soon we are going to talk about working capital in the company and entering that detail, how is going the working capital, because it's a way that you can measure the health of the business. So it's something that we are going to talk very soon.
Excellent. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to your statement about the loan. But first, if I could, you mentioned how Omar is excited about this opportunity. If I can quote him, he actually said, "I have no doubts that they will help us double our business in a relatively short period. This partnership is a fantastic opportunity for growth." Now, I don't want to overstep here, but during my DD, I made some phone calls, and I talked to some individuals on the Link team, and let's just say that they knew quite a few of you guys and have had working relationships for quite a while, as you know. Particularly, they sounded interested in SmartBiz and having worked with them. And I get the feeling that SmartBiz's 176% year-over-year growth might have something to do with Omar's statement about doubling his business in a very short period of time. So my personal thought from the sidelines is he knows how SmartBiz was able to integrate with IQStel and how that benefited them, and he can clearly identify what benefits he could have for them.
And qXtel.
Yes, and qXtel.
You forgot qXtel.
I remember Omar is also a partner of Whistle. So he's already been in the process. So he already knows
very well
from the inside how we work.
Yep.
So that's basically
Excellent.
how he can say something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Listen, we are very, let's say, conservative,
Mhm.
putting numbers about our growth, our forecast, and everything. We try to put some numbers that, because our shareholders need to know
Mhm.
what are our expectations, but we have high hopes. And we show during the last years that we put a number and we work to meet that number,
Mhm.
if not to surpass the number. So
Yes. And you guys may have seen my charts. I track it every single year. And last year for 2023, you exceeded your initial forecast by 33%.
yeah,
It's extremely impressive. It really is. So we're going to get into your forecast for 2024 in just a minute. One more, I need to circle back. Last thing about Link Telecom is you expressed that the investment that you will invest into the growth of Link Telecom is considered a loan.
it's correct.
It will be paid back. However, there are some stipulations in there that, as you mentioned, Link Telecom has to reach certain operational milestones.
Correct.
And upon reaching those, the company has agreed to invest some. So my question is it really IQStel investing into, or is it more accurate to say that you will reinvest your share of profits and IQStel will just reinvest what Link Telecom is making them, more so than IQStel actually making its own investments? Can you elaborate a little bit? Am I on the right track there?
Oh yes, it's simple math.
Mhm.
If we are willing to invest $3 million and the company produce, let me put a simple example. We are going to invest to produce $200,000 per month just for the retail and operation income,
Mhm.
operating income. So if we are willing to invest $100,000, basically the message is very simple. We are willing to invest the money that we are getting from the company
Reinvest.
to speed up the process. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more of a reinvestment. So I saw some investors were concerned about that. I wanted to ask on their behalf and just clear it up for them that it's more of a reinvestment.
Let me tell you something. To be completely honest, in this process, the most difficult acquisition, what was?
Probably qXtel because of
No, the first one. The first one, Smartbit, Swisslink. The reason because we were at the starting point. So now we have some kind of momentum, commercial momentum. So for us, it's very simple to sit with a potential partner and say, this is the opportunity that you have in front. This is the way that we work. This is the numbers that we have. This is the potential synergy that we can achieve together. So the hardest work was at the beginning with Swisslink. Right now is of course, qXtel, we spent more than a year in negotiations, to be honest with you. Yes, of course. And with something that we kept in secret, about this process. But, was very, very productive process. We know each other, our partners. We have a fantastic partners in each of the subsidiaries. But, in the case of Link, it's a big opportunity for both parties, they will take advantage of having us as a partner, and for us, of course, having them like a vendor and develop the retail business. It's really important having that directly with the end user for us.
Excellent. So, and speaking of qXtel, we've been talking about Link just because that one was just announced on Friday.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that you close Link Telecom, which will be July 1st, the first day of Q3, but you guys just closed qXtel April 1st, which was first day of Q2. So looking at the two combined, just based on the PRs, qXtel does over $80 million a year, and Link Telecom is estimated to do $20 million a year. That's over $100 million in revenue just in acquisitions right now, announced over the last 6 or 8 weeks. That's pretty exciting. So can you guys talk to me a little bit about the qXtel acquisition? We know it took a long time, but they operate on 5 continents. We know that IQST operates primarily outside the U.S. You do intercontinental sales all the time, but how big of a move is this really? How big of a challenge is it to take on a company of that level that's doing sales at the point where IQST was just 2 years ago?
Well, qXtel is a very strategic move. They have it's a global presence. They have business around the world. They have office in Turkey, in Buenos Aires, in London, in Miami. So they have a global presence, and this is amazing for us. They are in voice business. They are in SMS business. They have offering value-added business. They have a bunch of, I don't know, like between the 10 main customers that they have, we have 5 customers that are new for us. For instance, they have a strong presence in Middle East, and so it's very exciting. So being that, we just reported, and let me tell you something. I don't know if you realize that every time that we report a press release about projections and forecasts, we file an 8K because it's financial information, and we want to put it as serious as this information. We want to file an 8K to having not the information, the financial information and projections, in news. We want to file an 8K. So for us having this $27 million in April is like excited because it's surpassing our first combination of the things that we can do together, and we are 1 + 1 will be more than 2 in this process, and we are really excited. So this quarter will be fantastic. We are running a business that our gross profit, at the top after sales and our cost of the sales, we are running a business for $2 million per quarter. It's an amazing figure. So I don't know, Alvaro, if you want to add something of this, because this is a bunch of work for your department. The CFO is suffering every time that we are talking about acquiring other companies.
Yeah, you are kind of accompanying the consolidation process and to bring them to the timing of doing the reports. So when you are private, you don't have the pressure to release the financial reports to the finance or certain period of time. So it put a lot of pressure on my team, but we are happy. Just you were talking before about what we have been doing with Whistle and SmartBiz, and those two companies are great companies, but compared to qXtel in terms of revenue, they are really small ones. So just imagine the kind of synergies that we can put together with a company the size of IQStel with the previous acquisition, and now with qXtel on the other side, which is almost the same size we had before then. So we're gonna be doubling.
Yes, but basically the way that we can explain in simple words the acquisition of qXtel is like you have this business and you buy another very similar of the size of the business that you have. So it's amazing that when we analyze the destinations, they have like 5 top destinations in Africa that we didn't have it before. So they have traffic, they have the vendors, they have the connections, they have everything. So for us, it's amazing. So
Excellent. No, that's what I'm excited about.
And listen, even more important than this is the people that join to the organization. The managing members told that it's an amazing guy, Fernando, Gonzalo, Rami. It's a team. It's amazing. We are really proud about the team. I don't know if you had the chance to see our interviews or our presentation. Always we dedicate time to say thanks to my team.
Yeah.
Our team we are really proud. It's an honor, sharing time with them, and really smart guys with a very good energy and empathic with the company. All of them have shares of the company, so they are really thinking long term in the company.
Excellent. That's amazing here at they are shareholders as well. So, and I just want to take a second to congratulate you guys on such a monumental acquisition. So I just want to reiterate that you had let us know in the annual shareholders meeting back in January. I think you said that the discussions had been in the talks for 14 months, which took it back to 2022. So in 2022, based on the filings in the Super 8K, I believe qXtel did a little over 81 million in sales, and IQStel did 93 million in sales.
Yeah.
So when we found out this news, we laughed about it and said, "Wow!" When these discussions started, it could have went either way on who buys who. So, you guys are quite a bit bigger. Just fast forward 18 months from then, but that is a significant, ambitious acquisition to go after. So congratulations.
It was.
And you know what the best part of that is, we share the vision. So they wanna make qXtel one of the 10 biggest carriers in the industry, and we have the same goal. So working together, make it easy for us.
That's a really interesting story, because let me tell you something. That the first time that we shared this with shareholders, we started the conversations, and after that we decide, we're interested in move forward, and they say, well, this is the valuation that we have in mind, okay, and we arrange a personal meeting in Madrid. We spend like 3 days, 4 days in Madrid in a room, a private room, discussing everything. And, it's the negotiation process sometimes is stuck in the process. And, during that conversation, they had another potential candidate for the acquisition. So, one of the things that we said, listen, you may have another potential candidate, but the only candidate that can offer you the same vision is us. And the vision is we are going to become one of the 10 top telecommunications wholesale industry operators. So if you want to pursue that goal, this is the company that you have to join. And that's after that, everything everything went smooth. Because, sharing the vision, because we're not acquiring companies, Steve, for acquiring companies. We are not in that business. We are in business to become a billion-dollar company, one of the top 10 operators in the world. And if you have a company and you are willing to share that vision with us, we can explore. But if not, we are not buying companies for buying revenue or buying profit. This is not the important thing. The big picture is that every part of the puzzle fits perfectly in the process, increasing the footprint, increasing the cross-selling, increasing the energy, even though the personality of the owners, because it's really important, because we work in this company our whole life. We are not working in several companies. This is our whole life. So we need someone that, have the same vision, the same energy, and the same
Even the same values.
Values important,
So we are a family, so people, so we have to share the same living values.
Mhm. So I that was one of my questions, but having been here with International Telecom Week with you guys and meeting so many members of the team, and some of that is my main question already been answered, and you touched on it today. I had intended to ask how you went about identifying the right acquisitions, but it sounds like, and what I've picked up on is more often than not, it's a company you're already doing business with, you're already aligning with, and it just makes sense to go ahead and become one. Does that sound accurate?
Well, to be honest, we are very clear what are the gaps that we have and how to close them. And I will tell you a lie if I cannot tell that I have an eyes on some companies that we are looking for, expecting the right time to talk with them, and we are really the right time, and as always in life is timing, because sometimes the people is not the right time to make them an offer. In another process they are dealing with other things, so we have very clear vision of this. But if you see our filings and the elimination of revenue, we run it in the I can say something discussing, like a heads up. Well, when you publish this, of course, our thank you will be out. But our elimination is around 5% of our revenue is internal revenue that is crossing that we should eliminate. That it shows that we are not acquiring companies for a bunch of business in the company. This is not the real criteria. The real criteria is what is the value added that acquisition will put on the team, on the company, the corporation. Because bottom line, the stock price is important, but the most important for us, the other side of the coin is the business value. Because if the company goes right, sooner or later, the stock price will reflect the company. So
I completely agree. And we will talk about stock price in just a moment. I've got a couple more to talk about though. So you talked a little earlier about there's so much to cover. I love it. It's exciting. So you talk a little bit about you guys and being your filings and staying compliant and things like that. And you guys are IQStel trades on the OTC market. And you talked about how it went public via a reverse merger, and initially with a pink sheet, but it's no longer a pink sheet. And it uplisted to a higher tier, which was the OTC QB, and then it uplisted to the highest tier of OTC, which is qX. And now you guys say that your goal and your goal for a long time has been to uplist to the Nasdaq. Now,
no long time. Was our goal for a long time? Yes.
Yes. You've been working.
No, but right now is not long time goal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's been a goal. So can you talk a little bit about, because I constantly tell people that you're an OTC stock that's not an OTC-like company. You're going so far above and beyond what other OTC companies are doing. You've accomplished so many things to uplist to the Nasdaq. I believe the only thing left to accomplish is the share price. Can you reiterate for some of the investors some of the accomplishments that have taken place to get you to this point? Some of the things that IQStel is doing that maybe some other OTC companies that aren't trying to uplist don't do. What makes you stand
My
out?
CFO is the right person to answer this.
Well, as you know, we have been dealing with the Nasdaq uplisting since
Couple of years.
We have been working on that a couple of years.
We have an account manager assigned to us.
We have been in direct contact with Nasdaq, a person that has been giving us some guidance on how to put into the company everything that we need to uplist. We have been working first on the government requirements. We had the independent board, a board with majority independent members. Then we have to create some committees, audit committee,
Ethic code, compensation
committee, so a lot of things. And it's not only putting that in a paper that you are creating that committee. You have to actually serve the company and work, and you have to show it, because even the auditors look after that and see if you have that really in place.
It's not just the creation of the company.
It's not only.
It's show me how is this committee working on the things.
So is it correct in saying that the only thing as far as listed requirements is the share price?
Yes.
Okay. So aside from share price, is it fair to say that you meet all the other Nasdaq requirements and you're operating very similar to how you will as you are on the Nasdaq?
Yes.
We are a QX company. Listen, this is a neighborhood, exclusive neighborhood, the QX. You will find companies like Budweiser, Bombardier. So a lot of huge companies that they decide to list it in OTC QX instead to list it in Nasdaq. But Nasdaq for us is like it's a goal, but it's an intermediate goal in our process. Our goal is to become a $1 billion revenue company. And let's explain why Nasdaq is important to us. Because Nasdaq will give access to more shareholders to acquire our stock. And this process will speed up the process to get the value that we think that our company deserves, to be honest. So this is the process that we want. But we have been working for several years, and every movement that we have done for the last years point in that direction towards the Nasdaq acquisition, the Nasdaq getting listed, and we feel that like this is the year. We have been postponing this. To be honest, it's about the process, because it's very simple to run a reverse stock split and get this in Nasdaq to get in the price. But it's something that we have been avoiding to do this, and because we strongly believe that our company, that running a $250 million company, and our current market cap is just a fraction of this. So we think that we can have room to grow the current value of the company in another process, and it's something that in the process that we are adding acquisition, increasing bottom line of the company, moving forward with all of our objectives, we should get a better valuation for our company.
That's right. One of the things that differentiate us from other OTC companies that since the first day we decided to be a full reporting company. So as you may know, if you are in an OTC company, you don't have to be a full reporting company. You have different reporting
Alternative
reporting.
reporting.
But since the first day we decided to be a full reporting company because we always have Nasdaq in our roadmap. So we have to train ourselves to act and live as a Nasdaq company. And we decided to do it since the first day. So that's why we are a full reporting company since that time. So Nasdaq has been always in our roadmap.
That's one of the things that may be most attractive to the company is that you are fully reporting, you are third party auditing, you are QX compliant. A lot of companies are not. And more importantly, that the individuals running the company, as I said, have been around since the beginning, but are also still the largest shareholders. So you guys touched just a moment on your personal positions.
Yeah, of course.
Status of
Well,
your
it's
shares.
public information. It is in the 10K and 10Q. As you know, we started this process investing all our assets in Italy that has a value for $4 million in this process, and we reverse merger and created IQStel. In this process, after that we exchanged our common shares for preferred Series B. Right now, the founder of the company have something around equivalent to 30 million shares.
31 million shares.
Yes.
If we
So,
compare our preferred
we
shares
convert-
into common shares, it will be around 31 million.
So it's like the 20% of our shares. And on the other hand, something interesting in this case is that we design a process because we have been under the value in our perception that the company has. We design a process to protect the company against a hostile takeover, and Albert and me have the 51% overrides, voting rights for the company. In order, if you want to acquire the company and try to run a hostile takeover, you have to sit with us and negotiate, because you cannot take the control of the company if the company is under valuation. So that's something important. So the idea having this is to protect the company at this moment. Of course, when the company grow is not longer necessary, but at this time, what we feel that the value that the company should have is below the current market cap is below after the perception that the value that the company should have. We need to protect the company against hostile takeover, because we don't want someone with $20 million buy a major position in the company. It's not fair for the shareholders. And we are planning to have a round trip visiting different investors in institutional investors in June. That's the things that we need to. We are planning to invest our time. For instance, we are planning to attend to some of the investors meetings conference in order to spread the word about the company. But of course, we are willing to engage some analysts to run reports about the company and everything. But we have to be very careful with it, because we are not promoting the stock.
Mhm.
We are promoting the company. So for us, the most important in this conversation, this interview, in every news is the company.
Mhm.
You know, because as I say, it's different faces of the same coin. But if the company goes well, if our core business goes well, this focus on the telecom business to produce enough revenue to invest in other technological business using the profit that we are going to generate in the telecommunications, I think is the best part of the story that we have to tell. And this kind of conversation, because we have been talking for prior to this interview like an hour or so, and you see how we are, how committed we are with the company, the way that we thought about the company, the board of directors that are with us visiting customers. That's the personal thoughts that we have in the company, and we are in the process to improve. So let me propose you something. If you want, we can have uh, another interview in the short term, after a couple of months, 3 months that we have consolidated results for qXtel, talking about all those items and having this opportunity. You already have my phone number, so feel free to, if you have a specific question, it will be a pleasure to answer that. And having this personal touch, but yes, let's see how the future goes with this strategy, because I strongly believe that having this strategy is more helps with the company. Showing what is our perception, what is our vision, what are our goals, our ambition about the company. That's the way that we think.
Excellent. Okay. And you're right. We have spent quite a bit of time together today. So I do need to wrap up. We've gone a bit over our scheduled allotted time for this interview. So my last question for you, it was we've had about 5 years worth of filings since you guys went public, and we talked a little bit about that and the substantial amount of growth. It's almost an unbelievable amount of success you guys have had in about 5 years. I would like to know a little bit about what was your vision 5 years ago? What was your vision for what the company would become today versus what it is? And what is your vision for the company 5 years from now?
Well, we have been talking 6 years ago about one of the things that we have planning is to be between 5 years, 6 years in Nasdaq, at least in Nasdaq. So at that time was like a dream. And, we are really passionate about the company and the things that we have been doing for those years. And basically, to be honest, we surpassed all of our expectations that we had 6 years ago when we started. Of course, we had a plan, we have the intention to grow, but thinking that in 6 years we are going to be a $250 million company, never in our dreams, to be honest. But after that, we have a dream, is that becoming a $1 billion company, and every single step that we are moving toward that goal. And we are in the third part of that road, quarter part of that road, and you are going to see all the steps that we want to accomplish to achieve this goal. I cannot say, Alvaro, that we are going to be there when, but I sure we are going to be there. I don't know, Alvaro, if you want to share some experience.
Oh, well,
And listen, something important, Alvaro, that maybe we have to tell that part of the acquisition that we the company were during the pandemic. So we have been talking and negotiating everything using video conference, no face to face. That's right.
yes. Well, it has been an amazing journey. As Leandro said, we never imagined to be in the position that we are right now. So show this level of revenues and projecting to be a billion dollar company, but for sure we are gonna switch that. So now is one a new goal that we have set for ourselves, and we are gonna work as hard as possible to be there sooner than later.
Very much. Thank you very much for this opportunity. It's an amazing that you invest your time being here and producing this interview. This is a pleasure for us. We
have enjoyed it.
No, and we have patience talking about our company. Yesterday I flew like 24 hours from Spain to here. We have some delays, and we are here. We spend whole day with our team. Talking about planning, talking about the strategy, how can we approach the customer, and we reserve this time for you because I know very well the job that you have done. Believing in our company, producing an amazing due diligence for the company, and this is a very good opportunity to us to have it. And this is the premiere having this interview, in face to face, because all time has been through video cameras. So this is a very good. It's good for you, and feel free to ask whatever you want, anything about the company. Will be a pleasure.
Excellent, and thank you so much. And
Listen, thank you very much for the gift. It's amazing.
Thank you. Put that in my desk.
Now that's the caveat. You guys have to put those on your desk, and you keep shareholders in mind anytime you make a decision.
Oh yeah, as always. Thank you very much.
So thank you guys.
Oh, please, my pleasure.
I can't
Thank
tell
you
you how
very
much
much.
I appreciate the invite and
my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I plan on bringing you a lot more of them, so make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and let me know if there's anything specific you'd like me to ask in the next one down in the comments.